All right, so I want to go over some grips from standing up from your feet and kind of using that to work on your takedown variations. Okay, so I'm gonna switch this. All right. So obviously when we're going in, we talked about, that you always want to slide your sleeves up, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and feed with my back hand, okay? So if my right hand is forward, I'm going to use my left hand, because that's the one that's behind. I'm going to feed their collar, the lapel. So I'm going to get down here low, kind of pull it up, and then feed it into the other hand, okay? But you see how I create a little bit of a tension right here on this sleeve, all right? I don't want to just like do this and then try to switch my hands. If I do that, this is not going to work, okay? So I have to reach down here by the belly button and pull it sideways like this, and it'll develop that tension on this collar right here, on this lapel, and then that allows me to get my fingers in and get to that grip, okay? That would be the easiest way for me to get into this position in here. And then from there, obviously, I can try to check the shoulder, bicep, or even the wrist and still be able to have that control, okay? Because I know that they're going to do the same thing. They're going to try to reach and get to my collar like that. So we're going to be in a 50-50 position, right? So I want to avoid that as much as possible, okay? So I'm in here, you're like this, I reach in, I get it. Once I get my grip with my right hand in this scenario, I pull my left hand back right here in front, just like this, okay? And I keep my elbow, you see that? I keep my elbow in front of my body. I don't keep it to the side. It has to be in front of my body. So I kind of make myself like in a boxing stance, nice and linear, okay? I don't want to be here like this, like in a Muay Thai stance, boxing stance, okay? Just like this. Okay? They're going to start to reach over. I can defend now. I can parry. I can block. I can redirect. Understand? My objective is to try to get wrist control. Okay? Once I'm here in wrist control, I can kind of pull the arm down and in front of their belly button. Just nice little tension in there. So that's going to get them to react. They're either going to pull their elbow back like this, because they're going to pull their elbow back and do like a circle to get their hand back in position and try to get a dominant grip, hopefully on my sleeve or on the collar, okay, depending on what they're going to be doing, right? So that's what they're going to be doing like this. So I get here, they go like that, okay? It is at this point that is when I attack the leg, all right? Once they pull back the elbow, I give in, they start to rotate over like this, and that is when I step with my left leg and I drop my left hand to this leg, okay? So we're here, I step like this, okay? I squat down directly in front of that front leg, okay?
Do you walk in as I pull?
Yes.
So you're just walking in?
Yeah. So Melissa's asking, do I walk in as she's pulling? The answer is yes, okay? But it's only going to be like a half a second behind the pull. I don't want it to be at the same time, because then sometimes that's going to be detrimental to this entry, okay? So she pulls, I kind of keep it, and then I give her a little struggle. Right here, I kind of pull it back down in front because she's going to be doing the little arm circle. Right there is when I step in, okay? So whenever I feel them starting to do the little hand circle to defend their grip, I step in, okay? Now, as I step in, my right hand grip, I'm going to be pulling on it slightly down, but away from them. So instead of like me pulling the grip straight down like this on their collar, I'm going to be pulling it at this angle, okay? So I go in, they do the little hand circle, I step like that. So I get my grip this way as I step in and I catch the angle. I still have that tension kind of pointing down at an angle from the shoulder. Okay, so I'm here. She goes here. I pull her attention. She's making it happen right there. Okay, that's gonna help. I wrap my arm around and then I lift with my legs. Okay, my head is going to be in front of that shoulder, just like this. Okay. Any questions on that one? No? All right. So here's the kicker. It's really easy to get into that position, which means that it's really easy for me to get lazy with it. Okay? Once I get to that single leg position where her leg is between my legs, do not, and I repeat, do not do this. Okay? Or this. Okay? All right, that's the don't. You can't feel it, but I'm gonna ask Melissa here in a second. What I need for you to do is the following, okay? Here, and then if I have to, here. Okay? All right, so what was the difference between the first variation and the second variation?
Second one, the correct one, you're putting pressure on me. The one that's not correct, you're pulling so I can stuff you down.
So this is what I mean, okay? The first one, I get to this spot, there is no tension whatsoever, okay? I'm just holding the leg between my legs. Even if I get it like this, no proper tension whatsoever. Look at her. She is not even bothering having to readjust her balance, okay? That is very bad. But unfortunately, that is very common in the gi, all right? So you don't want that. So you want to always make them be out of balance, all right? So even when I go here like this, I'm always creating an off balance, okay? I am pushing down on the collar as I am pulling on this thigh, okay? And if I get both hands on the leg, it's like I am pulling and create this tension, okay? So you always want to make the person be out of balance. That is the proper way for you to control the takedown. I know a lot of people will say, well, I don't really go for takedowns because the person might be taller than me or heavier than me and they can smash me. Well, even if you are smaller, if you can get the person to get off balance for a second, that is 1 second less that they will be able to smash down on you, okay? You will be surprised at how easily it is for you to take someone down once you apply that concept, okay? And that's all the concept it is when it comes to takedowns is you constantly off balancing your partner, all right? So now that's a single leg, okay? Single leg with the gi, super simple. Yeah.
All right. Are you off balancing at an angle always?
Yes. Okay.
Not just forward and back.
Correct. So this is why when I said earlier, you know, this grip is going to be pulling down at an angle, right? It's going to be pulling down like this. Okay. So once I get here, okay, my head is going to be kind of slightly pushing in, but it's not going to be really past my toes. Okay. I don't want to be like this. Okay, I want my toes to be almost directly underneath my chin, but it's this grip right here that I'm going to be pushing at an angle down. Okay, so she kind of holds herself up. Posture up. Okay, I'm going to be pushing down like this. Okay, you see that? I'm going to push the grip down as I pull this knee and I spread her knees apart like this. And then I start to move around, I step to adjust the angle for the tension, okay? Now, if you go against someone that has, you know, they don't posture up high, but they kind of slouch with you and they kind of balance more on, you know, like with their legs and their hips, here like this, well, it makes it easier for you to take the person down because you just keep pulling and they're not really resisting, you just have to turn the angle. And because they're not really resisting or they're kind of being lazy about it, they're going to fall down and you force them to pull guard, okay, to sit down and pull guard on you. The second variation is when you have both hands, both arms around the leg, right? It's when you get here and you let go of this grip to get here, okay? So once you get to this variation, your job is to create as much space between their knees, okay? As much space between their knees, and you always want to be walking in a wide circle in front of them without leaving your head from the body. So here, I create, see how I pull it? I pull it back, and then I walk forward or in a circle in front of the person. Okay? That's what I need to do. In wrestling, they call that running the pipe. Okay? Mistake that we do in jiu-jitsu with the gi, okay, is that we'll get to this position here and the person will be like this. Look, there's nothing here. She's not even in danger. She's even wandering. She's asking me what? Like she's doing something wrong. Okay? Like, I'm not doing anything at all. I'm just holding on. Okay? Why? Well, a couple things. I don't want to have both of my arms behind the knee and below the knee. I need to have at least one arm higher up in the thigh. Okay? That's going to allow me to adjust and pull the leg more towards my hip. Just like that. Okay? And then my other hand, I can use it to hold on down by the calf, down by the ankle, how I need. Then I can just kind of walk back and then circle in front of her. Okay? That creates a lot of mobility issues for her. Okay? So those are two basic takedowns that a lot of people in jiu-jitsu either get lazy with or they just don't really quite understand it. Okay? Now let's talk about my posture. Okay? My posture is I have my back straight. Okay? Even when my legs are straight, my back is still pretty straight. Okay? But look, there's an angle. You see how my back is to my head? There's an angle. Mistake that people do is that they literally make their bodies do like a 90-degree angle. Okay? They'll be like this. That's no good. Well, you need to be here, like this. Okay? This angle right here cannot change. Okay? If I need to go lower, then I need to bend my legs. Okay? I cannot do this to go lower. I cannot keep my head lower than my butt. I can't do that. If that happens to you, if you do that, even if you do that without you knowing, this person can sprawl on you very easily. And it's one reason why people will say, my takedowns don't work. I just get into that position and they all sprawl on me. Well, it's probably because I would say 8 out of 10 times, their posture is just horrible. They're just like this the whole time. Okay? And I see it happen all the time. The person may be here like this. They're doing good, but they need to get their chest lower to the thigh. And I'll say, get lower in the leg. And they'll go like this. You see how bad my posture is? That's really bad. When it should be more like, hey, Edgar, get closer to the leg. Okay? That's way different. All right? So questions on that?
No.
Okay. So then using the same grip, I set up also what we call the Fireman's Carry. Okay? For me personally, it's probably one of my favorite takedowns to do because it looks really cool when you do it right. And it throws the person off guard, especially if you're consistently trying to attack this leg and the person starts to, take a step back with it. All right? So same thing, same adjustments. I'm in here, and I'm trying to go for it. And if I'm trying to set it up, maybe I'm not going to be committing for the single leg, but I am going to hook it in a way that they are forced to kind of kick back. So it'd be like, I go here, and they kick it back, and I will purposely let go and pull, but I will still I will make it to where it feels that they won that.
Like I got out.
Yeah, they feel like they got out, okay? Like they won that battle. And then we readjust again, and we're here again, jockeying for the position, and I'm getting it, and they step, right? And then you condition them to where every single time you do this, they already, they step back, okay? And that's what we're looking for them to step back. What I want to do is I want to overshoot. Instead of going for this leg, because they took a step back, I am going to reach for the other leg, okay? But in order for me to be successful, I have to drop to my knees all the way down there, okay? So it looks something like this. I'm not going to throw you, okay? So I'm going to go here. She does that. I'm going to rely on this grip, and I'm going to pull it like this towards me. Instead of pulling it the other way like we did the first one, I'm going to pull it towards me and over my head, like I'm going to take a comb and do this to my hair, okay? So she took a step back. I'm going to go over. I'm going to change my level with my legs, okay? And I'm going to hook that leg behind her hamstring like this, okay? Just like that, all right? You dropping to your knees on the ground can be different, okay? Some people will go in and they will like shoot their knees like this to get underneath their hips. Some people are going to step, knee, and then they will tuck this leg behind, and we'll go into dead toe so that I can complete the rotation of her body, okay? Now let's try this way. Some people will get here like this, and they're going to sit on this thigh. They're going to, bring the leg like this, the back leg here, and they're going to sit. Let me go. They're going to sit here and drop the person this way. Okay? Me personally, I find the most success is when I shoot in here, and then I drop, and I go over. Okay? That's the most successful I've had. That's the one that I feel most comfortable with. But if you practice it, you can do whichever one you want. Okay? The reason why I do that variation is for the follow-up. Okay? If I feel that the fireman's carry is not compatible because the person still defends it, I can still use it to come up in a single leg on the other leg because of this. If I feel like they're not going to be going and they have good posture, they start posturing up, right? Then I can't pull them over me. Then that's when I come up to the other side and we have the single leg on the other leg. Okay? So that's going to be based off on their reaction. Let's get this right here. I'm going to go slow and she's going to go slow too. Okay? You're just going to go over my head. So again, we're here. Defending, okay, go here like that, defending here, I go, I catch, I get it, okay, I'm going to pull on the collar, I'm going to lift between her legs, just like so, okay, and I keep a hold of that grip right here, of the collar, because I'm going to use that to pull myself back on top, okay? But even if I'm not fast enough to pull myself on top and she decides to turn on me, I use that and I punch up into the ceiling to prevent her from coming directly in front of me and create space between us, okay? Let me see if I can get it from this angle. So it's like this. See, I keep the collar, okay? So if she kind of shrugs her shoulder forward, like this, I can use that as a grip to pull myself back into, you know, my side control positions. But if she's fast enough and she turns into me, I push up. Okay, back over. I push up, and it keeps her this far away from me, allowing me to square back up to her. So she goes like this. Sorry. Now I have ability to be in a neutral position. Because if I let it go, here, if I let it go, and she's faster than me on the turn, I'm going to be slow in trying to defend that. Okay? Any questions on that?
No.
Okay.
I think that fireman carry is hard to defend.
Yeah.
Because it catches you off guard.
Yeah, it is. It is hard to defend because you're right. Because it does catch the person off guard.
You don't expect it because they keep going for this leg, and then it's.
Yes. So one thing too though is if you do it slightly wrong, expect to get kneed in the face. Okay? I know I've had a couple times in tournaments where I've caught him off guard, but they're still somewhat aware and they try to kind of sprawl and jump at the same time. It's kind of weird. And I will run my face into their knee or their shin. And it hurts, but you're already in the momentum and you can't stop. Because if I stop to go like this, then they're going to land on top of me, sprawl on me, and probably get my back and choke me. Okay, so you got to commit to it as much as you can. And you will be surprised at how much strength it does not require. Because you will be making yourself into a bowling ball and they're the pin and you're just going to go underneath their legs and strike them out. Okay? But that's why you have to, you have to practice getting onto your knees on the ground. Okay? So you're here like this, and you step just like that.
They go over your shoulders.
Yep, they go over your shoulders every single time. You're here, you reach for that leg, they step back, you step in like this, here, and then you sit down, their toes, and you go over to your side. Okay? That would be the motion is you start off here, your butt off of your heels, you bring your second knee in, you go dead toes down to your heels, you pull them over your shoulders and you lift between their legs and you tuck your elbow and you land on your shoulder and then you turn towards your chest. The other mistake that a lot of beginners will do is that they will go like this here. Sorry. They go here, they go in, oh crap, and they stop themselves like this from falling properly, and they still have the person's body over here, and they get crashed down on top of them. Okay? It's probably, from my experience, that's where the other person has landed and mount on top of me, because they managed to control their momentum because I landed wrong. Okay? So that's not good. And think about it this, guys. If you land on your elbow or your forearm with your weight and then the other person's weight on top of you, you can damage your joint. Okay? That's why you have to tuck in your elbow and land on that shoulder to be able to go with that natural little half turn motion. Okay? Questions on that?
None.
Okay. So single leg variation there into the fireman's carry. That's always a good one. Another one is the high crotch. Okay, it looks like the fireman's carry. I kind of showed it earlier, saying that that's the counter to them posturing up and not allowing me to throw them over my shoulder. Then I come up into a single leg. That's kind of like a high crotch position, right? Where I would normally go like this here and run it this way into a double leg. Okay, but because of the circumstance, I'm not going to be able to do a double leg. I'm just going to be able to come up into a single leg. More than likely, it's going to be with my head on the outside. All right, meaning, take a step, I go in. She has good posture. She kind of puts her hips in. Oh, I feel the wall, and then I let go of the collar, and then I come back up like this here, right here. I can switch it back up into a single leg.
Where's the high crotch before that?
The high crotch is you reaching between their legs. Okay, so the high crotch is a great variation to the fireman carry position, or even into the double leg or the single leg. Okay, so you just have to kind of decide, what's the outcome there. But it's you going in and like this. That's the high crotch entry. Okay, that's why I prefer it. When I go for the fireman's carry, I use that entry. I kind of test the waters for a split second, and then I can drop to my knee if I need to go to the fireman. If I'm here, if I feel like they're not doing a good job, then I get here and I pull them over me. Or if they're doing a really good job, I let go of the collar and I come back in this position. Okay? So the high crotch or high C, as some wrestlers might call it, I feel that that's the best entry and best variations for the gi. You're using the collar to get into those positions. The hard part is obviously you dropping to that knee. Okay? It's a lot easier than when you think. It's just getting your body used to dropping and landing with your knee on the mat. Okay? So if you've never done that before, you'll probably be sore the next morning on your kneecap. But it'll be okay. And just do that a couple times a week and you'll be fine. Okay?
There's a technique to do it, like moving into it.
Yeah, you have.
Dropping your knees.
Yes. So yes, good observation there. Okay. So you don't want to just like go like this with my knee. Watch this. Watch my right knee. I don't just want to go like this. Okay. I just don't want to drop straight in front. Okay. I want to step, knee. Okay.
As you're moving forward.
As I'm moving my hips forward. Okay. I'm not moving more of my upper body. I don't want to like headbutt her body to get in there. I don't want to do that because then that completely changes the dynamics of this entry. Okay? So I want to move my hip forward. All right? That's what I want to do.
So you can practice that.
Yes. You can practice this at home. Like, if you got something nice and thick and soft to where you can land your knee on, you can go here and bring your other knee through. Okay?
It's a lot easier if you squat quite a bit.
Yeah. Squat in, squat, knee goes in, other knee. Okay? So you will be facing 90-degree angles from when you started. Okay? I'm here. Okay? And I'm going to face 90-degree angle. Okay? So if you can imagine that, then you will have a good idea on your entry. You have good form, and when you actually do it with a life partner, you're not going to be thinking, should I look left, right? Do I turn here? Do I lift there? You already have the basic fundamental idea of that. It's just a matter of you getting to feel the body around your body and you manipulating it. Okay? So yeah, don't just drop like this, and certainly don't just like, I'm not gonna do it, but like jump, jump and put your heels on your butt and land on your knees on the ground. Don't just do that. Okay? So you wanna smooth into it, yeah. Right? So squat, glide into that, land with that knee. Sometimes it's live toes, sometimes it's a little bit of dead toes, but when you bring your other knee together, it's dead toes, so that you can throw them over your shoulder. Okay? Questions on that? No? All right. So then again, we're back in here. Same grip. Okay? And notice, this is the same side collar grip. Okay? Same side collar grip. Not the cross grip. Okay? Now you may ask yourself, well, why the same side? Simple reason, okay? Strategically, everybody is taught cross collar. Okay, this is a lot easier for you. It is a lot easier for us to practice our judo-based throws. It does not require much. I mean, it's very technical. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't require much more like real understanding of the body. You just kind of have to really understand what the gi is doing, right? Because here and it's like, and you can use this one side. You're heavy on one side all the time to pull and push and manipulate them how you need to. On the same side collar grip, which is what I prefer, well, that's like the monkey wrench. Okay, so if Melissa goes cross collar on me here, and I have the same side collar grip on her, all right, if she decides to like bring her body close to mine, it throws her upper body off. As opposed to same side collar, if she decides to come in and I try to push and she tries to pull, she can still win by moving her body next to me. Parallel. Like that. Go ahead. Again?
This way?
Yeah, like that. Okay? She can still win this battle. If I push and she pulls, she can still get her hips in front of me, right, or right here next to my hips. Okay? Whereas same side collar, if she does that, her hips don't get as close to me, and she's already opening herself up for me picking up the leg and go for like a single leg. Okay? So she already kind of opens herself up for that. That would be like a head on the outside single leg, which is going to cause her to be off balance, and more than likely she's going to pull guard. She's going to sit down and try to pull guard, or she's going to try to push me away, which is going to be a big mistake on her part. Okay? So same side collar. I feel it's a lot safer for the person that's going to be attacking and defending. Okay? And you have a wider range of control, I feel, on the body. Okay? And a lot of people that you meet in jiu-jitsu, whether it's you compete or even just training in general, they're not going to be developed too highly on, using the cross collar to be able to properly throw you. Okay? They'll be able to get to it, and they may be able to try to attempt some takedowns, but they're not going to be very successful with them. Okay? So that's already a downfall for them. I don't want to say this, but I guess very rarely will you find somebody that's really good with this cross collar in the jiu-jitsu community at lower belts. Okay? Of course, usually it's somebody that already has like 5 years of judo experience prior to doing jiu-jitsu. Okay? But brand new beginners, probably within the first 4 or 5 years, it's going to be very hard for you to find someone that's very adequate at using these grips properly. Okay? They may be able to get to the grips, but they're not going to use them properly. Okay? Same side of collar grip. I feel personally, from just my experience competing and teaching and whatnot, it's a good balance between the judo, the wrestling. Okay? Meaning I can use the cloth and I can manipulate the body to be able to get the most out of it. Okay? And more importantly, for defensive purposes. Okay? If I can manipulate her upper body while she's trying to come in with her hips, okay, I can make her angles extreme, and it allows me to counter a lot easier. Okay? If she's trying to, take her hips back, I can pull her upper body a lot easier towards me to be able to attack in those situations. Okay? Instead of same side, or instead of the cross collar grip, which she's trying to get her hips away, I can still pull her upper body, but she has a more stable position. Okay? Whereas, take your hips back. whereas that feels less stable on her end and more on my end. Would you say? Okay. Also, you've been able to manipulate the downward pressure. So she, whatever she wants to get on me, you've been able to manipulate the collar grip and put weight on it. That throws the shoulder off. Okay. If she has same side or the cross collar grip on me, sorry, like this, and she's starting to put pressure on it, well, I can stand squared with my shoulder, with the one that's free. Okay. But it gets harder because I'm using the sleeve grip and the collar grip to pull down on her shoulders, on both of them, not just one. Okay? So if you understand that, then you can use that to frustrate the other person, and you can force them to pull guard on you. All right? Obviously, you got to have a good stand. So, we're here, cross collar, just like this. Just here like so. Okay? And she tries to go for takedowns on me or whatever, I can push, pull, whatever I need to do. Okay? And if I have good tension and I can feel it, okay, I can kind of move around and try to break that. Okay? Try to break those grips. And then I can go ahead and start controlling them again. And she's going to try to get her hand out. It's going to leave me the opportunity to shoot in. Okay? So there's that. Yeah. I agree with that too. I agree that the cross collar grip is easier to break than the same side grip.
Because your fingers on the same side, your fingers are really hooked, and over here they're hooked, but it's not the same. I don't know.
Okay. What else? Any questions on those?
No.
Okay. So moving on here. Even if you try to go like double leg position, okay? Double leg position from the same side collar would be easier, because all you have to do is just drop your hand to that same side hip. Okay, so let's get there. So collar grip right here on her left shoulder, okay, left collar, and then I can drop my hand to this left thigh, left hip right here to be the double leg position. Okay, we can be in here, right? That would be the entry. Okay, if I were to have cross collar, I can still do it, but it's gonna take me a little bit more longer. And well, here it is. I'm here like this and get it. That's not gonna be the best option for me because it's gonna travel longer. It's gonna go from here and then travel down and around the body as opposed to you just dropping the hand. Okay? So you've got two options that you can choose from. I personally like the same side, so I can just drop the hand in there. Okay? Now, I will say this, advice. If the person you're going up against has a cross-collar grip on you, do not go for double legs. Okay? Well, and if you do go for double legs, be extremely careful because they can loop around you. Okay? Like loop chokes. Okay? They're going to drop their elbow right here by your chest, and they're going to force your head in on top like that. Okay? They're going to loop choke you. So you be careful with that. Okay? So that's what a lot of the times, if you're going to be going for that double leg, from them having a cross collar, you having same side grip, is you want to pop this up. Even if you can't break the grip, you want to kind of create a barrier with your palm so that your shoulders can drop lower. Like this. Okay? Here. So now that my ears has gotten real close to her hip, she can't really loop choke me. Okay? And it's at that point that I still keep a hold of the lapel and continue to pull weight on it. Okay? To pull it down. This is gonna offset her choking arm anyways. All right. So I'm here like this. I frame my palm underneath the forearm. I drop my level and I pull on the collar. Okay? Even if she's resisting, you know, she's controlling it. Like this. Okay? And you can see like her elbow is not just gonna flare up. Sometimes it'll flare, sometimes it'll bend in. Like this here. I still have my ability to still get into my double leg because I swarmed her grip. Yeah, I trapped her hand. Okay? So just be aware that you're going to go into those double leg positions. Same side grips, double leg. Okay? Well, sometimes they're harder because she can just stiff arm me. Okay? That's harder for me to get in. I can be in here controlling, and I can pull my weight down, and I can pull, and I can go. And that keeps her hips back at the proper distance. Okay? So that's why for double leg, I like this grip when I'm defending it. Okay? If I'm going to go for the double leg, I'm going to have to either loosen up this grip, right? Get rid of it altogether, and as she is readjusting, that is your entry. Okay? Or is like you get your hand inside to the bicep and use your forearm to push against their forearm on the inside like this, and then you pull them over you as you go underneath them to get to that double leg position. Okay? That last one, that is a textbook double leg entry. Okay? That's a very wrestling specific. Because in wrestling, you know, you're here, and the person that has inside control of the arms, they can pull them over their head to get into the hips. Okay? In the gi, a lot of people, they have the idea behind that and they can do that, but they're not really thinking about it. Okay? Unless you've wrestled for a long time and you have a very technical wrestling base, you will do that instinctively. But a lot of us don't have that wrestling background, and so we'll be stuck like this, here, holding onto the sleeve, and then trying to pull to get underneath them. And then that kind of stuff happens. And you see that, and then people get frustrated, and you see people go, you see that in tournaments all the time, okay? When all they have to do is get their hand inside, okay? The outside of this forearm is going to push on the inside of their meaty part of the forearm, and my palm is going to go and wrap around their bicep. Yeah, and the reason because of that, like Musa said, is because they don't want to let go of the grip. They are too close-minded in that situation, and for them to just go here, like this. Yeah, that makes a really big hole right here, big opening to where all I have to do now is, since I have this hook, I pull with this hand, and I pull with the collar hand at the same time as I squat down and step into that double leg position. Okay? That's, I mean, obviously it's easier said than done, but if you can do that, great. This is why the drills that we used to do, okay, when I would say, you know, from the inside control only, one person put your hands on the shoulders of your partner. Inside control. Yeah. Okay, see how I just work from recognizing that I can create that space on the inside, okay? And every once in a while, I have a same side collar, you know, the traditional grip, double leg position, inside control, pull, inside control, pull, okay? So you're getting the repetition of being aware where to be placing your hands and where to create the space and take it away. Okay? That's why it's crucial. Like that drill, again, we start hands on the shoulders, inside control. It's double leg, body lock, you know, single leg. The whole time, I'm causing my partner to be on their heel and off balance. If that's not happening when I'm drilling it, I am not doing a good job of controlling that balance. And I see this a lot, whether it's because you're tired, you're bored, or you just don't believe in it, people will just do this.
Nope.
Okay? And the person never moved. You see that? How Melissa never moved. Okay? So you have to be okay? That's the purpose of that drill. One is to teach you sensitivity. Two, to teach you awareness. And B, to teach you mobility once you have achieved the first two. The awareness and the sensitivity, right? Of where you're going to hold, you have to be able to move. So that's a very important drill that you have to do to be comfortable entering with your takedowns, okay? And even if you don't specialize in takedowns, okay, you may even tell yourself, like, I don't do takedowns. I just don't feel safe doing them. That's perfectly fine. But if you practice this drill, your awareness of what is happening, not necessarily the specific takedown, but just the overall control that's going around your body, you will be much more aware of that and you can stop it. Okay? If something's up on the left side, you address it and then, oh, that stopped. Okay, I did a good job. And so that forces your other partner to now have to work overtime to try to take you down, or they concede by pulling guard because they cannot take you down. At least they don't feel safe taking you down. Okay? And that can help you build your resume, like your takedown defense, because now the person hesitates to attack you, let's say with a double leg, and then they still attack you, but it's 2 times slower. Well, you can time your front headlocks. You can time your guillotines. You can start timing some submission attempts. And so therefore now you start to work at your own pace instead of having to always be reactive to the other person. Does that make sense?
Does.
Okay. Any questions on any of those?
Okay, well, like you have the same side, you have the cross collar, right?
Uh-huh.
Cross collar is typically used for more like judo style setups, and then instead of same side is typically used for more like wrestling style. That kind of how it plays out, or I'm just oversimplifying.
In the beginning, yes, I would say that. In the beginning, I would say that the same side collar would benefit you more from a wrestling style point of view. The cross collar would be more from a judo point of view. But once you get comfortable understanding what is happening with both of them, I mean, you can mix and match.
Okay.
Okay. And that's what makes you, I would say, deadly, right? It's because you may start with a same side collar grip, and then next thing you know, you may manipulate the grip over to now you able to enter on the person and be able to, take them down. Because maybe they were conditioned to be taken down from the same side or from the cross collar grip, okay? And sometimes it's easier for you to blend and feint, okay? So for example, I'm in here and I may go in for a little bit of like a Kouchi little trip and move her leg, and she kicks her leg back here like this, right? Well, as I am readjusting my body, I can push, same side collar, I can push to give me space for me to adjust my stance, and I turn towards her, I push, turn towards her because she's going to be readjusting, obviously, here, and then it allows me now to drop into my fireman's carry.
Okay.
Okay? Because the person is like, whoa, readjust, and then they go forward. Okay. You can do the same thing. Like I can go for a little trip here. You know, she takes a big step, and then I can go ahead, step, and get the big reap. Okay. I can go in, and maybe I can go for like an Uchimata and just pop, pop, load her up on my hip, and then I push her over.
Okay.
Okay. Little things like that. Or sometimes you can just mix and match with the gi and the no gi, right? Like I may go in here, same thing. I do this little trip, pop, I get her to move her leg, and then I can go ahead and just shoot into like the wrestling style or no gi style front headlock takedowns. Pop like this here, hook, and then just turn and then take her over. Okay? And it can just be more variations. Like I come in and I go in for like a shoulder throw, ha, here, right? And I may do it lazily, like with my entry, to get a reaction out of them. So when she moves, so then now it's like wrist control. I turn my legs, arm drag to my double leg. Sorry. Okay, like arm drag to my double legs or arm drag to the back. Okay, and I can do that because I can just move from. Yeah, I can flow from control to different control. Okay, I can flow from a different style to a different style. Okay, but it's pretty much because I have control of my posture and their posture. Okay, so little things to keep in mind. All right, it'll be the same thing on the ground. You know, you're trying to sweep them, and you go for an arm bar, but you're not using the gi to set up the arm bar. You just grab the wrist and you go throw your legs over, okay? Because you may feel like that's the appropriate reaction at that time. So little things like that, okay? That definitely throws a person off. And then if you cannot take them down, I prefer like I said before, the same side collar grip here with good proper posture. And obviously I have to know how to control the lapel, right? How to control and put weight on them. And I'm here like this, and if they're trying to take me down, control, elbows in, elbows out, control them, pull them in, push them in, right? Maybe I can move to one side, redirect them here, and then they try to enter, and so what do they want to do? Oh, and they start to double guess their entry, and then next thing they know, they decide to bring a leg up and pull guard. Right? Like that. Okay? And if I know that that's coming, and you can feel it when that's coming, okay? Then you go to your counters, right? Like you're here, because you have such good control of the collar grips, right? It's like, oh, and you can fall. I'm not gonna slam you, okay? You know, you can set them down gently, or you can like let go of the collar and pop, they fall down to the ground as you pass the guard into side control or mount. Okay, so you can kind of give them different styles, different feels. Okay, sometimes the person they'll bring their foot up to pull guard, but they don't kind of cut the angle. They just kind of sit straight in front of you. You know, because they don't really think much more here. Let go of the collar.
Oh.
I let go of the collar, and it's like, oh, and I start to readjust. Okay. So it just gives you like that sixth sense ability. Okay. And it's just a real funky on their point of view. It requires a lot of patience from my side.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times, like I'm okay at takedowns when it comes down to it. Okay, I'm okay with it. I can take someone down if I try really, really hard. The problem with me though is that sometimes, or I should say most of the time, is I don't want to try really, really, really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I get the takedown, it's because I know they messed up big time, and I just have to like maybe do this, and they already fell over, right? But if I have to fight tooth and nail to get the takedown, I'm not really gonna go for it. I've already made up my mind a long time ago that like I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so then therefore I have to set them up. I have to make them believe that I am gonna go in and do a good, hard, fast takedown, and then it never comes, and it never comes, and it never comes, and then they lower their defense, right? They lower their expectations, maybe. They lower their guard, and then instead of zigging, they zag and they fall into the trap. Okay, but that requires a lot of patience from my end. And sometimes I don't even get a takedown, and they don't get a takedown, and it's like, well, maybe I will have to pull guard instead. But if I pull guard, it's in a way that I make them think I'm gonna go for the takedown, so they can defend the takedown, but I pull the guard.
There was a video I saw on Instagram today. A guy did a fake guard pull to an ankle pick.
Yes. Yes.
That's all. It's slick.
Yes, it's very slick. You know, it's like they break it, they go here, and he goes one, because they get the reaction of the person to defend, right? Ha, here, and then he'll catch it. Okay?
I saw it. He set it up well, and so I can tell you practice it quite a bit. So
Yes. Someone who's really good at it is 3-time world champion in the gi. His name is Gi Mendes.
okay, yeah.
First name is Gui, Mendes, Mendes.
Okay.
Extremely good at it. I highly recommend you check him out for that specific takedown for sure.
Okay.
All right. Any questions? Nope. All right. Well, I guess we'll leave it at that, guys. And you guys have a good weekend.
Okay.
See you
Take
later.
care.